All right, everybody, not going to beat around the bush with this one. The question on everybody's mind is that weather formation around near Pohnpei and Chuuk's Way, does it have any bearing on us come next week? So we're bringing in Landon Aydlett. He is the man who is able to translate and distill what Mother Nature has in store for us. So Landon, you actually reached out to us. So what are we looking at?
Yeah, I reached out to you yesterday evening because we really wanted to be communicating this stuff, making sure everyone is maximally informed across the island and the region, so that people know exactly what to expect in the coming days, possibly early to mid next week. We have a holiday weekend. It's Saturday, Sunday. The weather's going to be pretty favorable to be outside. And then we have that holiday Monday, but what's going to greet us on the other side? So we want to make sure people are getting that information, are well informed and prepared to take the actions as needed should things spin up. I'm going to turn my camera around and show you what we're looking at here across Guam. Not bad. We have some spotty showers primarily off to our southwest. That's part of that departing disturbance 97W, which is sitting off to our southwest. This is no longer a threat to us, but it may be developing somewhere in the Philippine Sea. Again, this is no threat to us as it moves away. But the big story now is 98W, the second tropical disturbance. And this is what we're watching closely in the FSM. So that low-level circulation center, we have this trough axis right across Pohnpei and Chuuk. I'm going to turn the satellite down a little bit. Pohnpei and Chuuk are right there. That low-level circulation center somewhere just off of Pohnpei. But what we're looking at in the satellite is all that deep convection, the showers and thunderstorms, that's all displaced to the north. So we have a little bit of a shear going on, pushing the heaviest weather to the north of that low-level circulation center. That's the good news in the short term for folks in Pohnpei and Chuuk, that it's mitigating any short-term development for those folks. But we have the westerly winds surging across southern parts of Chuuk and Pohnpei states that's causing problems there for hazardous sea conditions and periods of heavy showers and thunderstorms across Pohnpei and Chuuk. What is going to happen with this disturbance in the coming days? That's what we're going to be watching closely as they get its act together. Much as Mawar did in Chuuk State, it sat there in place and it spun for a couple of days, getting its act together, consolidating around one single low-level circulation center. At that point, that's when Mawar started making its move. We expect this one probably to bounce around somewhere in this region for maybe another 24, 36, 48 hours before it starts to move off generally to the west-northwest and up toward Guam and the Sinai. So we've seen a lot of changes over the last 36 hours with the whole wind field across this region. That was one thing we've been looking at as we've been in this active period of weather for a couple of weeks. We've seen the spin-ups in the long-range forecast models for a couple of weeks now. Now we're starting to see the observed conditions changing to support these things. The 98W, that's going to be around Micronesia for a couple of days. Eventually, it's going to be tracking somewhere toward the Mariana Islands around Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Will this be a tropical depression? Will it be a tropical storm or a typhoon? The confidence is increasing that we will be dealing with a tropical storm intense system sometime next week. Will it be a direct hit to Guam, Rota, Tina, or Saipan? That remains speculative. Somebody will be filling it.
So the intensity at this point in your projecting, it's not supposed to be at least like, and you know, like we're dealing with uncertainties here, and everything is projections at this point. We want to make sure we emphasize that. But basically, it does look like it may be a tropical storm. And you mentioned Typhoon Mawar from this past May. We're kind of in the same situation like we were back then, Landon, because we have the weekend to prepare now as we did back in May with Mawar.
That's correct. And so Mawar hit us, it started coming in on a Tuesday and then hit us that later on Wednesday. Yeah. We can be dealing with a similar time frame with this one. Right now, the consistency between models and plots aren't all there in unison as they were for Mawar, so that's the good news. But it's still very early. We have 4 to 5 days ahead for this thing to materialize. We have 4 to 5 days to plan and take action based on what worked well during Mawar, what did not work well during Mawar. But again, confidence is increasing for a tropical storm force event pushing through the Mariana Islands or nearby middle of next week, possibly a typhoon. Still very early, still a lot of time for a lot of change, and that's what we're going to try to reiterate in the coming days as 98W gets its act together. We do have a hydrologic outlook highlighting the potential for heavy rainfall That seems like a very high likelihood next week with 4 to 8 inches of rainfall with locally higher amounts across Guam and the CNMI, as well as strong gusty winds. So our forecasts are reflecting that at this time as we go into next week. Obviously, the certainty, the credibility of our forecast will increase as time goes by. This is our forecast funnel. When does the uncertainty become certain? We always say, ask me about the weather tomorrow. We'll let you know what's going to happen today. But that's a common weather joke. This is our lead time, 10 days out. There's a broad range of possibilities, a lot of uncertainty. But as we go like 7 days out, there's increasing confidence of a weather event, larger trends, potential weather conditions. 5 days out, it gets tighter and tighter. 3 days out, we're starting to get much more increased confidence until 1 day out. And now we have a very good feel for things as they're evolving. And so right now, we're right about here, the 5 day out. We're starting to trend our forecast for a possible a weather event. And that's where we are next week with increasing confidence in potential weather conditions, what to see. But really, the magic's going to happen Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Of course, it's through a 3-day weekend where a lot of things start coming to better alignment. So this is a general feel for things at the moment. We're going to be watching this closely as things evolve across the region over the next 24 hours.
So basically, we've got more or less 96 hours to prepare, and just play it safe. I mean, we know the drill now. Even young people that have never been through a storm, they're now a little bit indoctrinated into what to do. You want to make sure that you clear the any debris that may that high winds may pick up. The seas are going to pick up. You said, regardless, there is expected to be an increase in heavy rain, flooding. Areas that are prone to flooding may be definitely impacted and everything like that. So you want to get your batteries, you want to fill the water bottles, you want to gas up, you want to go to the ATM and get money, and you want to do laundry.
Yeah, correct.
Can you tell I've done this once or twice before?
Yeah, get your mind in place for a tropical weather event. Again, not to panic, not to worry, not to be anxious. That does no good, but start getting your mindset in that framework of preliminary actions to do. Make sure your house is ready. You have gas in your cars. Make sure your gas tanks are full. I got a couple gas tanks since Mawar. I have them filled and I've got cash on hand. So these preliminary actions. But as things evolve in the coming days, we will be ramping up our communications accordingly. We'll probably have a Facebook Live broadcast from our office sometime this afternoon just to talk about what we're seeing so that people are getting this information and they know when to expect more and how things are changing and evolving the next couple of days.
All right. So keep your eyes on the Facebook page for the National Weather Service. That, of course, facebook.com/NWS Guam.
Correct.
Yeah. And we'll make sure to share your stuff. And if there are any further developments, we'll make sure to jump on with Landon and the fine folks over there at the NWS, man. So, bro, we appreciate it. We appreciate the hustle, and we'll talk to you very soon, and hopefully not too soon.
Yes. Thank you, Jason. We'll be in touch.
One thing real quick. I know I'm seeing some people, even though we're about maybe 3 weeks out from Halloween right now, some people are starting to put up, some Halloween decorations. You probably want to bring those back inside the garage, at least for the next couple of days, just to play it safe.
Yeah. Think about that. A lot of times we talk about tent canopy and tarp storm systems and wind expectations or political science. Halloween decorations, that's a good point. Or for the early people, the Christmas decorations.
Yeah, there you go.
My Christmas lights have been down since Mawar.
Yeah, these lawn decorations are getting more and more sophisticated now. A lot of them are animatronic, so you've got like electrical components in them. You've got moving parts, you've got nuts and bolts and things that could fly off and everything like that. So just make it safe for your neighbors and for your own peace of mind, and just put it back inside at least for the weekend.
Yeah, that's definitely a great recommendation. So keep that in mind. Depending on how things evolve, stay up to date with the forecast, because those winds might be a problem for any kind of spiders hanging around in your yard and other decorations.
Yeah, so I mean, natural or man-made spider webs getting all like tossed about and everything like that. I mean, that's a mess to clean up. So I mean, don't even put yourself in that situation. So, man, Landon, we appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, yes. Thanks, Jason.